long good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to me. The Old Woman's Despair, Charles Baudelaire. A wizened little old woman felt gladdened and gay at the sight of the pretty baby that everyone was making such a fuss over, and that everyone wanted to please. Such a pretty little creature, as frail as the old woman herself, and toothless and hairless like her. She went up to him, all nods and smiles, but the infant, terrified, struggled to get away from her caresses, filling the house with his howls. Then the old woman went back into her eternal solitude and wept alone, saying, "Ah, for us miserable old females, the age of pleasing is past. Even innocent babes cannot endure us, and we are scarecrows to little children whom we long to love." Well, what happened with that last Prism stream? The first one seemed to work well when I listened back. Um, but the second one, for some reason, went sans audio. So about uh, 45 minutes of my commentary without context. Uh, so that's always fun. The Naltrexone Dreams, man. Yeah, dreams while I'm wide awake. I think I'm getting adjusted to my medication, which isn't saying much. You're a pretty seasoned drug user. And so I don't think, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I agreed to give it a few more days, uh, but I don't know if it will go beyond that. We'll see. More talks to be had, but in the meantime, stuff has some trippy side effects. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's different for everybody, obviously, but for me, whoa, whoa, man. Okay. Reading from the text here. Most of us enter recovery with one goal in mind: to stop the suffering that got us here in the first place, whether that was drinking, using drugs, stealing, eating, gambling, sex, codependency, technology, or other process addictions. As newcomers, most of us would be satisfied with simple damage control or reduction in harmful behavior. We want to stop hurting ourselves and others in particular ways. You're reading this because there is a spark of wisdom in you that desires to seek the end of suffering of your addiction. You've already taken the first step on the path to your own awakening. Everyone who has made the wise intention to recover, whether they are on their path, has access, wherever they are on their path, has access that pure, wise part of themselves that the wreckage of addiction can never touch. So many of us have hearts that are still in pain from the suffering we've experienced. Some have undergone trauma, which often led us to seek temporary relief in our addictive behavior, which unintentionally added more suffering to our original wounds. We tried to protect ourselves by running from the pain, putting on a mask, and pushing people away for fear of being vulnerable, all to adapt to what often feels like a hostile world. We start to recover when we let ourselves believe in and rediscover our pure, radiant, and courageous heart, where we find our potential for awakening resides. Who were we before the world got to us? Who are we beyond the obsession of our conditioned minds? Who are we beneath our walls and heartbreak? Despite the trauma, addiction, fear, and shame, there is still a centered part of us that remains whole. There is a part of us that's not traumatized, that's not addicted, that's not ruled by fear or shame. This is where wisdom comes from, and it's the foundation of our recovery. If you're at the beginning of your recovery journey, it may seem oh, if you're at the beginning of your recovery journey, it may seem impossible to access this part of you, but you're here because you already have. Perhaps you felt some small glimmer of hope, maybe born out of desperation, that there might be a way out, that things could change if you took wise action and reached out for help. Maybe it feels impossible to have faith in this part of you, to believe that you have the potential to be capable of wisdom and kindness and ethical deeds, to believe you can be the source of your own healing and awakening. Recovery is a gradual process. The path is a lifetime of individual steps. It's not only the Buddha's example that shows us the way, but also those before us who have gone through the process of recovery and made it to the other side. They show us that we can too. So, what does the Buddha have to do with recovery? There are two ways in which we use the word Buddha, which means awakened. First, it is the title given to Siddhartha Gautama, a prince who lived in modern-day Nepal and India roughly 2,500 years ago. After many years of scholarly study, meditation, and ethical practice, he was awakened to the nature of human suffering and discovered a path that leads to the end of suffering and the freedom that comes from awakening. After his awakening, Siddhartha became known as the Buddha. The second use of the word Buddha follows from the first. Buddha can refer not only to the historical figure, but also to the idea of awakening. The fact that each of us has within ourselves the potential to awaken the same understanding as the original Buddha. When we take refuge in the Buddha, we take refuge not in Siddhartha as a person, but in the fact that he was able to find freedom from his suffering, and so can we. Flow state. Oh, that's just a clip looks like. December 9th, 2023. I am grateful for my mind. My mind is unique and it serves me well. I am grateful for this day and this opportunity to learn, to grow, and be of service to others. I am grateful for my station, for the place that I am now, put on this earth, in these cosmos, which bring me this privilege of life. I am grateful for my health and for that of my children and my parents. I am grateful for my will to power and the knowledge of that which I have had the good fortune to learn. I am grateful for my sobriety and that I sleep well, eat plentifully, and get regular exercise and meditation. I'm grateful that I want for nothing. Do 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 do. Best comment ever. How long I get to ride on that one for? Good God. I can't see. Not enough caffeine in the world. We've been talking about this. The last correspondence I got from P-Town. Believe by faith in Jesus and start praying and to and through him. Keep it simple and forget all the other crap. Which actually seems pretty chill. Kind of ticked me off after after that whole fucking come to Jesus on my live stream thing. That rubbed me wrong. That rubbed me wrong. Oh yeah, and hopefully I'll be gaming on stream more often. I'm gonna read this comment. I think it's interesting. This is from quite a while back, but I picked up this comment that Tobin left on a video. Because I hadn't. This was a while ago. I've talked to Beck, a bit here and there in side chat since then. Um, that I mentioned Beck. Anyway, so Tobin said I hung out with Beck in chat the other night. Andrew and Beck made me aware of the word "gypped" as a racial slur. The word is connected to gypsy, which is also a racial slur that is described people from Romania. I thought to myself, well, fuck me, and I had no idea. The foreskin joke is what led me to that lesson. Yes. And gypped is like one of those things, like, it's like, super common usage, common slang that is, yeah, based in fucking that type of shit. Um, accurate. Find half naked pictures of me on Facebook. Uh, Only when I'm drunk. I think I posted like my whole ass on Facebook at one point, and then yeah, my whole ass. I gotta dump some of these photos. I save them for thumbnails and such, and I just never get rid of shit. Well, yeah, apparently this is a fucking app. They were trying to get me to download this Bible verse a day. It's like an app. I was like, this is hilarious. I thought that, I thought that was great. So I think, I've identified the solution to my problem. Need to feed my codependency. Need to actively seek that which I am missing. Kind of meander around, aimless, perhaps. But I'm at that stage in my life where I don't have a whole lot of time left, in pursuing, a realistic goal. It's just something sustainable, you know. Um, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to invest in one of those dating apps. I always thought that seemed pretty stupid. There's like online speed dating and shit, right? On YouTube.
But look, we're dealing with a lot of weird people on the internet here.
I'm gonna start writing down my dreams again. I had some strange ones recently. They're strange enough to be in the memory recall. I'll never forget that one I had a detox. The dream I had a detox was absolutely fucking ridiculous. When I was on a school bus full of kids, and the kids were all smoking weed on the bus, and I robbed them for their weed. And then I went on a massive run, and oh, so vivid. I can recall like all the places that I was, like in the dream, and I knew them for the most part, like most of the places, like from real life. I don't know about the school bus itself or whatever. The school like was kind of an amalgamation, I think, of like landmarks from like a certain region, but like in general, I was like pretty much like know like what area of what city I'm in, and it wasn't the one that I was in like at the time when I had the dream. Total fucking mind fuck. Nobody's up at 2:36 on Wednesday morning. I didn't actually check to see who was streaming before I went on. I don't actually see anything. Maybe people are just legitimately doing other things. I don't know. Links in the happy chat. I've only got a few sips of this Celsius left. I got the Oasis Vibe Sparkling Prickly Pear Lime Edition. That's got to get me through the next couple hours. Yeah, I've thought about this, and I don't think anybody in the current pool is going to work out, right? Like anybody I have a history with, probably it's just like it's been played, right? Like it's got to be like a completely new person, start fresh, just like like a whole new thing, whole new. Well, not a new life, but I've got options. I am eligible. I am eligible. So utilize those options. April 30th, 11 11 at 4 p.m. If I'm getting clean tomorrow, might as well get high tonight. Ain't no genie in that bottle, but if it makes me feel alright, and if I walk away angry, then I know it's all on me. And at the end of the day, I know that I'm a fiend. Part of me is crazy and I'll never be made right. Part of me gets off, tripping through the night. Part of me is fighting to stay sane with all its might. Oh yeah. Fucking with my car. So I was in Brojo's stream earlier. I left. So I had my afternoon group 4 days a week. And like every day is something different. Some were like educational, so I got super baked. I got super baked when I was on Brojo's stream. And then I went into my group and it was a educational piece on marijuana. And I I was fucking tripping. I got in there and was like, "What is marijuana? How do you use it?" Like it's some fucking third grade shit. And then even the doctor who was presenting it at one point, like she was reading from some of the whatever research they were citing, and she was like, "I'm not sure when this was written," because it was obviously just bullshit. Like, oh my goodness. And then the many links to like marijuana and like psychosis and like schizophrenic tendencies supposedly. I was like, oh, this is great. And I'm sitting there just fucking baked out of my gourd, like, yep. And then they made reference to it, and she's like, some people call it the marijuana munchies. And I'm sitting here with my cheese fries all like luckily I was muted, but I was on camera. You have to be on camera. You don't have to say anything, but you have to be on camera. So I was like, oh, they know it. They all know I'm high as fuck right now. Oh shit. That was perfect. I was dying. All I could do not to crack. I almost started arguing with them too, like on some of the points where I was like, I know that's fucking false information. Where it's like she kept saying, "Well, we don't have the studies. We don't have the studies." It's like, well, then why the fuck would you put this shit out there as if you have the studies? Because that's what they do. You know, it's all that fucking DEA bullshit. Research from like the 30s or some shit. And then I was really tempted to ask because they were like, well, now in the states where it's legalized for recreational and medicinal, you can become, like they have the studies, and I'm like, how does one become part of the marijuana studies? Because that seems like something I should get involved in. I'm like, I'm one of those chronic long-term users y'all want to check out, so, uh, but you don't want to say that to your, recovery doctor. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm high as fuck right now, but only on weed. But I did think about it. I was like, like not so long ago, like after I'd stopped smoking for a while and I started smoking again, I did have like a fucking pretty bad panic attack. I had a pretty severe panic attack on weed one night. But see, I don't know. I don't want to make, see, I kept thinking that too. I don't want to make the correlation causation fallacy. It could have been other shit too. But I'm pretty sure it was the weed that time. And even ever since, like I've switched for the most part from indica to sativa, and I haven't had like any type of similar, like, I don't know. I've just had a better effect because like usually I was always smoking indica, and so ever since I've come back, since I quit for a couple months, like the indica was really intense, and the sativa just doesn't give me that intense feeling most of the time. And I have smoked indica a couple times since then, just not before bed, because that was when it happened, when I was trying to lay down and go to sleep. I thought I was going to stop breathing. The only other time I had that was like last year, about a year and a half ago, when I was taking like CBD before bed. And I was taking like a lot of CBD, like 4 times the suggested serving or whatever. So yeah, that was a great experience. Better than walking into an AA meeting high. Which I think about it, like a couple years ago when I started doing smart recovery, I would go into smart recovery high and drunk because it's all online. So like you're not going anywhere. You're just getting on a Zoom call. You just go off camera. And I get on there and start running my mouth sometimes. Usually I'd stay quiet, but sometimes I decide to start running my fucking mouth. It just makes you look like a dick. Well, if nobody decides to come in here and chat, I might just go watch some Darth Dawkins for a little bit. I've always got those. Here. I still got 70% on the battery. Doing pretty good. I don't know what happened with that last Prism video. The audio just jacked off on me, so jacked off on me. But I guess I don't really need the earbud in. It doesn't seem like there's any like actual echo on the video. It just picks up through the phone mic. The first one worked just fine through my Bluetooth, so I don't know what happened with the second one. Prism's weird like that. It has a fucking mind of its own. Like it shut down the first stream. I don't know if it has like a time limit or if it was something that I did that it just shut down like while I was in the middle of talking. So I don't know what that looked like. I didn't watch the end of the stream. I just checked like the audio for a few segments or whatever. I didn't like listen back. So more on that later. Got to do quality control here. It's a professional channel, damn it. Can't you tell? rolling my own cigarettes tonight. It's gonna be fucking rough on the lungs in the morning. I feel you lurking. At least my StreamYard counter tells me that you're lurking. Drop a like. And that's the rest of my Celsius. Now I got water and cheddar fries. Rations are getting low. I got about 2 hours and 40 minutes to go. Is that right? Yeah, sounds about right. My maths is correct. Oh, and I got some peanuts. I got some peanuts too. Not doing too bad. Won't perish. Yeah, coming into work, fucking bad. I was like, I was feeling it. I was feeling it hard, but toughed it out, and not too bad now. So I mixed up my dosing with the Naltrexone between. So day before yesterday, I took it at like 11 a.m. and then whatever, went about my business, went to work, and I got home yesterday morning, and I passed out by like 9, and I hadn't taken it, and then I didn't wake up till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's like well over 24 hours. So I think I'm supposed to be trying to, yeah, I wasn't really like feeling it at that point. Like I think I'm supposed to be like building it up in my system, like one person I was talking to was telling me to split it and take it twice a day. So I'm taking like half in the morning and half at night or whatever. Because once it comes out of your system, like it's like you notice it. It's pretty much like I think like the 24-hour cycle or whatever. So I don't know. Trying to keep myself on it for at least a few more days. That's what I agreed with my sponsor about, and then it gives me time to talk to my doctor in the meantime or whatever, to see if I adjust. I've been having like these gnarly headaches from it though too, so I don't like that. The stomach issues are so the headaches, and then there's like the weird groggy feeling, like discombobulated feeling, and then yeah, just lack of ability to focus certain times. I've noticed that quite a bit. So yeah, it's definitely preferable, whenever possible, doing shit like this, try to like take some time off or whatever. But I don't have that luxury. I already went through that, and I'm behind from it. I found out yesterday they want $1,500 on my registration, and it's because of my tolls and a couple of parking tickets I got. Just parking tickets, like whatever, but the tolls are racked up. So like my registration is actually like 160 something or 180, so it's like less than $200. But all the rest is the state of California like coming to collect on like all this other shit, like mostly toll violations or whatever. It's not even a violation. It's just the fucking toll fee because they've been shut down since the pandemic. So it's all by mail. It's basically a racket like here in the Bay Area. It's like if you don't have their little thing, their fast track system, if your account's not on file, they send you a bill and they try to say you violated, which is like you didn't violate because you can't stop and pay the toll, right? Like that's impossible. So You haven't violated unless like you didn't pay the fee. But they're basically trying to make it like they're taking over the carpool lanes too. So they're trying to make it where you have to have their service in order to commute through any part of the San Francisco Bay Area. Like otherwise they're going to charge you up the ass. Like, but they already do. That's why I stopped doing business with them, because like they require you to keep a minimum of $20 in your account, and then they make you do auto pay. You can't shut it off. So it's like, so they overdrafted my account, which is why I closed it like years ago, and I've never been able to actually like resolve that, right? But in the meantime, they're just racking up this fat tab every time I cross the bridge, and so now they're saying they won't renew my registration until that's paid. So until uh, July, come up with $1,500 to pay that. So it's like, oh great, there's another one. There's another one for you. Good morning, Christian Carpenter. Good to see you. $63 a year. That's killer. I mean, I do have a sports car, so like whatever. And mine paying the 168 or whatever, 186, one of the two. But like that's fine. Um, the last time I got into it with these guys over the tolls, they suspended my license. But apparently this time they attached it to my registration. So, but yeah, last time it was like a similar deal. I had to pay them like, well, they wanted like close to 2 grand, but I think I ended up whittling them down to like $800 or something like that. Because most of it is the penalty fees. Just like you just gotta finesse their customer service and they can waive those fees, which are all bullshit anyway. But yeah, it's expensive. It's expensive over here. It's no joke. It's hard to make a living anywhere, but it's even harder when they got their boot on your neck all the time. I mean, but we got essentially, free healthcare. If like my health insurance falls through, I can go get, um, healthcare very easily. I mean, we got that, essentially our own little socialized medicine over here or whatever. Like I can, if I lose my job for some reason, like I can just go get food stamps and a free phone and, be like, whatever. I can't get general assistance. That's one thing. They cut you off of cash aid. You get it once in a lifetime. You're homeless. And I actually got it a second time because they were able to make an exception for me. But like, unless you're a student or something, like there's no cash aid. But you can get food stamps. You can get a free phone. I mean, you get by. Not that I'm trying to live as a homeless person again, but just saying it's easy enough to do. What kind of car you have here? $63 a year for tax. Not too bad. Not too bad. Mine's it's gone down because it was more when I was what do you call that? Well, I was leasing the vehicle from somebody, like it was like lease to own or whatever. I was making payments on it, so I was like the undersigner or whatever, and it was more when I had that. And it went down quite a bit once the vehicle was like mine outright. And then they say like after a number of years, it would go down again because of the age of the car. Like right now, it's a year older than my daughter, so it's 17 years old. I think it's like after 20 years or something like that. But it's always more because it's a sports car. In California, they charge depending on like the type of vehicle it is. Well, it's going on 3 in the morning. Trying to move around now. Move around, keep the blood flowing, keep things working here. I haven't seen anybody in a while. moved out of Santa Monica in 1989. Just 3 times the cost of living there. Yeah, I've had people try to encourage me to move out of state. I just can't do it right now. Like, I don't know. For me, I figure at the very least, I'm committed till my kids are 18, and and then it's kind of more like whatever. I want to do some traveling though. It's one of my goals this summer if I can get it in there with $1,500 fucking registration and everything. But if I can manage to squirrel away a little money, take a couple weeks, you know, go do some traveling. But yeah, like I'd really like a place where I could homestead or whatever, which would be just like, it's really difficult to do out here. Like so, I don't know, maybe somewhere like Colorado or something like that. Not really sure. Like I'm kind of I'm sensitive to the weather. I'm acclimated to my very comfortable. So yeah, I'll have to pick somewhere that's agreeable to me. Um, or just learn to hibernate in the winter. I don't know. It's also going to depend because this whole mating thing or whatever. Well, if I find because I was a while ago I was talking to this woman out in Wyoming, and she wanted me to come out to Wyoming, and that was kind of the barrier there. So it's like good long distance relationship. It's like she didn't want to come to California, I didn't want to go to Wyoming, so you know, so it is what it is, right? But if it wasn't for that geographical thing, like we had a good thing, we had a good thing. So in the future, that may be a consideration. Like I said, pretty much locked in here at least till my kids turn 18, just to give them that option or whatever. Like, well, my oldest, they'll all be, up and running, but my youngest, he's on the autism spectrum, and so I just think it'll be easier for him to kind of make his own decision. Obviously, later on, you know, it won't be there won't be the issue with me and the mom. So, and then he can decide how he wants to navigate that. So, yeah, right now it's just kind of like that barrier. Colorado's state, like Florida has 30 California. I'm not going to Florida. I don't think I could do Florida. I don't know. I've never been there. I guess I shouldn't judge it. Just I don't. I've seen too many of these Florida man memes, and I don't know. I'm afraid if I move there, I'll turn into that or something. I don't know. But yeah, yeah, or I'll get eaten by an alligator, right? That's always a concern. No, no, we're a little more intelligent. No gator food here. I should go out there and check it out. I guess a lot of the streamers I watch are in Florida. I always tend to think they're in California, and they end up being in Florida. And I'm like, oh shit, got that one wrong. And Snapchat too. Florida's big on Snapchat. I still don't know why I'm on Snapchat. Well, I guess I do. There's like a couple people I actually talk to on there, and then I just I there's a couple of the content creators on there who I kind of watch on a regular. It's kind of a a guilty pleasure type of thing, whatever. One of those. I'm like criticizing them at the same time. I'm like, kind of intrigued. Fuck these people, but also I can't look away. You know how it is. Hey, Sandy. Luckily, my son shows get me out of trouble. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, my boy would keep me on my toes. And he's he's very he's a pure soul, one might say. He is yeah. Hopefully, he stays that way for a good long while. Just keep things in balance. All right, Dan. I'm gonna go watch some Darth Dawkins. He wants to come in and play with me today, or see what other people are live streaming about. So, 20 now. All right. Here's Tennessee. It's like I think my mom was born in Tennessee somewhere. Pretty sure. Anyway, well, you can watch with me. I'm just gonna switch to Prism so I can do watch party. If you want to subject yourself to torture like I do. And I just figured I'd open it up because I was doing the Prism stream earlier, and just out of pure boredom. And well, there were a couple things I wanted to check out, and it got cut off. And then so the first stream got cut off midstream. Went to do the second stream, and then there was a problem with the audio. Um, so yeah, I was like, well, that was a mess. Yeah, I didn't really have to, catch up on a couple things today. Um, kind of reflect on some things. 8-man walking. Yeah, I'm walking in circles right now. 6x6. What's up, Jill? It's going to move to Florida, but land is outrageous there. Oh, no, not you. That's funny. Yeah, that's what I need. I need a low cost land because yeah, I can't afford shit. Can't afford shit. Not on my budget. Where's the box? There we go. All right, I'll try one more time. Free to hop in if you want to chat. Otherwise, I'm gonna go torture myself on some Darth Dawkins. Going once, going twice. Sold. Oh, all right, y'all. Well, much love. Uh, I'll probably take the night off tomorrow. I've got some more pre-recorded shit to throw down, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. Have a great day and be well. Stay trusting.